Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about my September wrap-up. I've read 3 books this month, which is kind of crazy and smaller than usual. I typically read I was reading a lot in the summer, and to go 3 is just crazy. I feel like I was in some kind of book slump, so that might explain that. But yeah, let's talk about the books I read. The first book I read was The Ballad of Never After by Sophia Garber, which is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. Third one comes out in October, which I might not immediately. No questions asked. That's also gonna be on my fall TBR. This book I read this 5 stars. I love this so much. This was so good. It looks so huge. I was comparing it to the first book, and it's so small. It's so big, compared to the paperback version I have. But yeah, this is a 5-star, and I highly recommend this trilogy for anybody who's new to fantasy. The next book I read was Book Lovers, which I don't own, so I should be putting a picture right here or somewhere. I rated that 5 stars. I want to change my rating to like 4.5. Compared to the last book I read yesterday, I finished yesterday, it doesn't compare. And I was like, okay, once you read more books, the more books you read, your ratings just feel like they change. That was such a good book. I loved the banter. I loved the relationship between the 2 main characters, and it was just such a good story. Okay, the book I read after that was If You Had to Miss Me, which I have so many thoughts about this. I am reading this in a video that I'm going to be posting eventually. I rated this 5 stars, and this is almost a 6-star book. You know, like, it's so good. I tabbed it. I've never tabbed a book in my life. I've never highlighted. I was just using a pack of post-it notes. I don't own real tabs. I would love to get tabs, which I want to get ones that are like, okay. I just noticed around my desk that I'm just using these and cutting them up in smaller strips because I don't own any tabs. I'm hoping someone gets me some tabs because, like, I don't know, my parents would, like, I don't know, they'd probably be like, why are you buying those? You don't need those. But I highlighted, I underlined, I fell in love with this book, and the ending, I didn't cry. I was just like, what the heck happened? Because, like, the ending is so weird. I'm like, I wanted to throw my book. I was like, what? Like, I was so confused. It felt like I was reading a book in English class, and I was like, what are we talking about? Like, and I flipped the next page. I'm like, read the last page, and I'm like, okay, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay. And then the next page is acknowledgments, and I'm like, what? I was so confused. Highly recommend. It is such a good book. Her and her childhood bestie, Finny and Autumn, are just, I love them so much. They make me so happy, and I love that book so much. Please read this if you haven't already. It's young adult, and it's just so good. You might cry to it, you might not. I did not cry. I cried, but, like, some people say they sobbed. I cried a little. It was hard. I don't cry. I did cry a book, but, like, it takes a lot for me to cry, so I didn't really full on, like, go crazy crying, but, like, it was so sad. But I highly recommend. Very highly recommend. Please read this if you haven't already, and yeah. And it's just no romance book is ever going to compete with this. Thank you. Anyway, I did not finish Caraval. I'm 200 pages into Caraval right now. I want to talk about this because I'm in the middle of it, and I did read it. Didn't finish it, though, yet. I'm not done with it, but, like, it still counts for the month of September, like, because I did read half of it through September. It's just, I might DNF this, honestly. If you really liked it, please just say something like, it gets better. Because it's just, I'm bored. Kind of. If you loved Caraval, please hype it up for me on my Instagram, DM me. I can't have comments on my video because I don't know, the age limits or whatever. But please tell me if this book is really, really good, because I'm tempted to go send it back to the library because it is a library book, see. Yeah. I was reading I'd rather read Book Lovers, and then I read it. I'd rather read it if any book was better. Does it get better? I heard Jax is in Legendary and Finale. I'm reading those. I love Jax. But this, I love Julian. The little nickname Crimson is just so cute. But like, I was loving this at first, and I'm halfway through, and it's just falling flat. Like, I don't want to rate it lowly. I want to love it. I don't want to push myself through and not like it. If you love this series, or just the first book in general, or say the series gets better, and this first book is, you're gonna have to deal with it, but like, to get to the second and third book, it's amazing. Because if I read this now, when I get A Curse for True Love, I'm probably gonna get Legendary at the same time. So it's like, do I keep reading this? Please tell me your thoughts. I need to know. I did start reading the Inheritance Games, but I want to start reading one book at a time now, because I've been reading I was reading 3 books at once, and I was like, I can't do this. So I was at like page 20-ish of the Inheritance Games. I'm not DNFing it. I'm gonna go back to it. I might even just DNF this, and then, anyway, or just keep reading out, or whatever. But like, I own the real copy now. I own the library copy, and now I got the real copy. My own copy, I mean. But I'm not DNFing this. I'm just trying to get back to one book at a time. And this book happened. This one, I'm 200 pages in. I'm not gonna maybe, like, stop it. Unless I'm DNFing it. I don't know. I think I've ranted enough about how... But yeah, here's what you should get out of this video. Read If You Had Been With Me, and also read the Most Perfect Heart trilogy. Those are some of my favorite books, and they're young adults. So if you do not like reading... This book is young adult, but it does have spice, I think. Towards the end, my favorite scene ever. I'm sorry, I've never, like... I loved it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching my rant about if I should keep reading Caraval, and how much I loved If You Had Been With Me. Have a wonderful day.